Hi, this is Allie from Allie Cats Crafts. I'm here to share a video for the new paper pumpkin kit, which is called, I'm going to show you a picture of it, Farmhouse Florals 2025, August. You get 9 cards, 3 of each base, 9 envelopes. What comes in the kit is you get these extra little pieces, which is you get 3 of those, 3 of the little typewriters, 3 of these little images, 2 sets of stamps this time round, which look like this. And you get, it says August 2025, put on the Farmhouse Floral. So I mark it and save all my stamps in a little file so I can go back and use them. You'll see in my videos, I go back and find stamps that I've had. And stamps that was gifted to me too. So this one says, for you, thank you, just a note, you are loved. To say, forever your friend. Good friends are hard to find. I am so glad to find we found each other. There's a flower and a little design. Another, oh, there it goes, XOXO. The other stamp has a teapot, has a set of flowers, and a little individual one says, you are simply the best. Thank you for your constant friendship and listening ear. For a great friend, always for you. And then little tiny flowers you could stamp anywhere. It goes along with this one, just smaller. Okay. You also will get several other things. Instructions on how to make it, but I don't really look at it. I mean, I kind of do, but I really don't pay attention to it because I do my own thing. So let's get started on this card. We're going to make 2 shaker cards today and possibly the bookmark that I promised last time. If these take too long, then I won't do it. But I wanted to do a quick share of some stuff that I do too, but I haven't done it in a little bit, is I do beading. So I made this little beaded bag. It's called an amulet bag where you put stuff in it. And I just kind of put like a little heart in there, and I sell them and give them away, you know, but it's really fun. This takes many hours. There's different stitches that I use, and I glue, and I don't glue, I sew everything together with the needle and thread. And it's small beads. And the reason I show you this, because this is what I do with my beads, but I also use them for shaker cards. So today in our shaker card, I'll be using some of my seed beads. They're size 11. So I'll be using these colors. Plus I'll bring in some sequins for my shaker card, okay? And then I'll bring in some little, these little plasticky things. They're yellow and white flowers. I'll be putting that inside the shaker. So that's why I showed you this. This is my other passion. So you never know, I might put up videos on how to do some beading too. It's time consuming and they're gonna be long videos, so it's one, and I don't edit my stuff. I like to have everything in real time so people can see if I make a mistake or all that other stuff. And of course, I have ink in my fingers. That's just how I roll. So, we will be using today the Wildflower Path stamps. I'll be using this one, this one, this one, this one, and then a little small one right there. I'll be using the butterflies out of my, which is that? I think it's the butterfly set, but I could be wrong. No, you know what? It's a few months ago, the Stampin' Up! One from the paper pumpkin. It's like 4 months ago. It was the one that had all the pretty colors in it. I did not bring that out with me. I took it out of the thing and just forgot to bring it out. Sorry about that. Also, you'll need a card base, and you'll see the instructions right here. I will have it also in the bottom of my once it uploads. Card base. It's called Just Jade, 5.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4 and folded. You will need your front, the cover. This is what you're gonna need from the front. It's one of the pieces. When you get those card pieces, you get a blank on the back. So you get this and this, and it folds over. So I took that piece and I cut it down. And the size that I put was, I cut it at 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. Then you'll need a die, or you can layer 2 dies, whichever you choose. And you will die cut and have a window. Let me get my And I've already done this with both the cards to save time. And this is what you'll have. You have a layer piece. And then this piece you won't need. You can use that for something else. Okay? That's the layer piece that's going to go on the fun foam that you're going to cut out. So you're going to get a piece of foam and you're going to lay your die in it just like this. And it will cut out. Okay? So here's your same window. This is the exact same size as this right here. Okay? So it'll layer right over the top to make your nice little cover. Then you'll get some window sheet and you do the same measurements. So the outside measure, if you don't have this die, is, and I want to show you one of my favorite rulers. I got this. I want you to look at it really close. See how it shows all the measurements: 1/16, 1/18, 3/16, 1/4, 5/16, all the way up to an inch. Has all the 1/8, the 1/16, and 1/8 inch measurements. So if you get confused and you can't figure it out on your paper cutter, because sometimes it's not marked, you just have to know or get used to it. Get this ruler. It's called the Victor ruler. It's on Amazon. I really do recommend it. I know how to read stuff because I've been doing it for years, but sometimes I just pull this out because I can just look at it and know exactly what to do. So I use this a lot. So what I did, and I've never showed that to you, and I'm so sorry. I got a die that's 5 inches by 3 3/4. See how it measures up right there? See from the cut to this cut, 3. And then the inside was 3 inches by 4 1/4. So you can get whatever you want, how much ever you want to have show, but this is the one I chose because I was able to get the whole thing cut just right. And I don't have to worry about it. So that's what I did with both of my shaker cards. So the first step you will do is I want to prepare my frames. So I'm going to take off. Let me show you one thing really quick. That way you know what I'm talking about. Some people have never done a shaker card. And I will show you what I have. So I had bought these a long time ago, but you could buy fun foam with sticky on both sides at Hobby Lobby or others. Stampin' Up! Does not have it. But this fun foam is set up. You're sticky on this side, sticky on the side. And it will run through your die cut machine. So don't think that it won't, because it does go through. And you just put your little die on top, you die cut it, and you get everything all in one. Now if you don't have that one die, like I said, was layer your 2 dies and you could get it cut. So what you would do is, I'll just use this as an example. You layer 2 dies, tape them together, and run it through. What's going to happen is you're going to get a nice little border, like I showed you here, and then the inside, you just do whatever you want. So you'll be all set up for this, okay? This also comes with the window sheet, which I wish Stampin' Up! Sold it. They no longer sell them. But you could go, and if you don't have this, go get the double stick at Hobby Lobby. I think Michael's might have it, just like this. And then get your, go to Home Depot. I go there and get those, those clear covers that for like presentation. And I cut them up. When I didn't have these, that's what I did. So what you're going to do, I want to explain to you where you can get this stuff. You're going to pull off your backing, because now it's automatically sticky. You're going to grab your window sheet, and you're going to line it up the best you can. Now, if you don't get it perfect, no problem. Just trim off the extra, because you have extra window sheet or whatever you have. So you stick it on there, and you look at it real close. It looks pretty good to me. Okay? Then you're going to grab your piece of framing. You're going to put a nice layer around the edges. Try not to don't go too close to the inside, because you don't want to, because then it'll show. It'll seep over. So you want to do this all the way around. And some of your foam will stick up, which is sticky, and you want that. It's okay. You want the window sheet a tiny bit smaller. Otherwise, you end up, it's hard. I'll just tell you that. You don't want it sticking out. You could just cut it off with these scissors, though. So you line this up with your foam piece. Kind of do it like this. This is what I do. Okay. and you push it down. Now, if your foam shows on the outside a little bit, what I would do is, if you're unsure about lining it up perfect, you can cut your foam a little bit smaller. But see how it lines up perfect? Okay, so that's how you do that. Okay, then you kind of rub your fingers around the side so it's not sticky. Make sure, because there little bits and pieces will stick there. Make sure it's nice and clean. And you can take your, where's it at? I don't have it. Oh well. I have a wet wipe, and I'll wipe it out here to make sure it's nice and clear and clean, because you want that nice and clean. Okay? You don't want nothing in there. And I see something right there, and it's really bothering me. There, got it. So I'm going to set that aside. That's going to set aside so it doesn't get in my way. I'm going to work on my stamping. So I did a practice one on this side. So now you kind of get a sneak peek of what I'm doing. But I'm going to do it with you so you know what to do. I'm going to bring in my little my friend Lori gave it to me. I think it's I can't forget what it's called, but it's a foam thing. And if you don't have that, you could go and get fun foam anywhere. Hobby Lobby, Walmart, wherever. Okay? Let me put my lid on my glue. So now I'm going to work on the stamping, but I need a piece of scratch paper, which is right here, because I'm going to go over it. So I have a whole bunch of inks here that I'm working with today. I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, Crushed Curry, Calypso Curl, Berry Burst, Garden Green, and Lost Lagoon. I'm going to start with the Granny Apple because I want to put the stems of my flowers. So I'm going to grab my little stem from this stamp set, the Wildflower Path, okay? And I'm going to put a few little stems up here. So I think I want a tall one, like right there. And, oops, I just didn't get that quite exactly how I want it. Let me see if I can line that. Hold on, I got to put my head a little bit in here. There. I'm going to put one kind of a little bit lower, and then another one up higher. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'm going to get my stamp cleaner, clean it off so I don't put my hands in it or dip it in something. Clean it off really good and set that aside. So now I'm going to grab the other stem. So I worked with this one first, so I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to do the same thing. And that's kind of like the in-between one. I'm going to tap, tap, tap. Put a little one right there. Some of it will not be seen on the card, but you want that look. You don't want to have, you know, let's stick that one up higher. I'll do this one a little bit lower. And I'll throw one over here, just to have it coming off the card. So you're trying to make it look like it's random. So if you do them all the same size, it kind of doesn't look random. In the wild, you need to have, you should always have random. You see it random, you don't see it perfectly lined up. Well, even in a garden that you do. So now, I'm gonna bring out these two pieces. It's a double stamping thing that you do. Close up my ink, of course. So I am done with that color. I'm gonna move on to the Crushed Curry. So I'm going to put my flowers on here now. And I want to, this is the first part of the flower. I'm gonna stamp off, line up my flower right here. Now I tried this last time, remember I didn't do a very good job. But I figured it out, I worked with it, there. Then I'm gonna grab the second part, I'm gonna do full strength on this one. Line it up and stamp it on. See, I figured it out. I had to practice. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring in this little tiny flower from there. And I'm gonna put one right there. And one, let's stick it over here. Let's put one on the ground like it kind of is just coming up through the bottom. Okay, and I'll clean that one off. We're gonna move on to our next color. So we'll clean it off really good because we don't want to mix our colors together. Clean that one off. And I'm getting ink all over me as always. Okay, get my wet wipe back in here so I don't get it on my card. close up that one because I'm now done with this ink. I'm going to move on to Calypso Coral. I just don't pronounce that very good. And I'm going to stamp off one and then come over to the far one. I think I'll do that one first. And stamp it down. And I'll grab this one. It's going to be in full strength just like last time. And stamp it on. And that one's done. And I'll clean off my stamp because I'm going to go on to the next color. Clean this one off. Okay. Clean my fingers because I'm messy. And I'm going to grab my little tiny flower. And you can see where I already messed up. I'm going to put one right here to cover up my mess. I think I'll just throw one right there. And then one right down there. Okay. Okay, and clean that one off. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the Berry Burst. I am done with that one. So I'm using several colors, so I want my little flowers all pretty. Stamp off, and then bring it in here. Stamp on. And grab this one. It's going to go full strength again. There we go. Now clean off that one. I think if I had thicker blocks, I wouldn't get my fingers so much in it. Eventually I'll get them, but I just think I'm a messy stamper, and I don't mind. I just don't want it on my cards. So I'm going to go back to this little one, and I think I want to put a couple over here. One there. Let's throw one over here on this one, right there. I was looking for where it went. And we'll just put a little purple one down there. Okay, so I'm done with the flowers. And I'll clean that one off. So let me see, where's that thing? Clean that nice and clean. Now I want to stamp thank you right there. So now I'm going to bring in the Lost Lagoon because it matches up with my Just Jade paper. And I will tap, 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 tap. I'm going to put thank you right here. So I want to make this one a thank you card. Clean that one off. And then I'm going to get my butterflies. And they're going to be in Just Jade. They're going to be in the Lost Lagoon. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on. They're just light in the light background. That's all they are. Put that one over there. Clean it off. And my little half one. I think I'll stick it right there. I kind of want one right here on the side of the thank you. Okay, so I'm done with that. There we go. Next step. This is the fun part. Okay, so we already have this together, so this is going to go right over the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your little sequence that you want inside of there. So I want to put a few of these little flowers in here. Just a couple. Okay. Then I want to grab a tiny bit of this sequence. I don't know a whole lot. Just a little bit. And I do not want the big ones. Stick everything in the middle. I only want the little ones. Sequence tends to stick to everything, so I try not to put too much in here. I found that out. And that's why I use the beads. So now I'm going to grab some of my beads. Put some of those, like the tealy colors. It looks a lot like the Just Jade and the Coastal Cabana. which I think is really pretty. I want to put some purple ones in here, or lavender. Ooh, it's more than I wanted, but that's okay. And I think I'll put a few of these little orangish color ones. Yeah, I went through my beads and I thought I want the sparkly ones. So I put a few little orange ones in there. I think that is more than enough. So now I'm gonna make sure it's all in the middle. This is the part. You don't want any on the edges, because when you stick down your sticky thing, it'll make your card leak out the beads and the inside stuff. So you're gonna pull off your backing. You're gonna line it up the best that you can. Okay, stick it on there and line it up and stick it down. And there's your shaker card. Look at that. See, and that's the back. Yeah, my old design. And it lines up. If it's stuck over a little bit, then all you do is take and cut it off. So now you're gonna bring back in your card, and I'm making my card go this direction. So you want to, and you know what? No, it's fine. So now I'm gonna take my glue. I'm going to glue it to the front of my card. It's all glued down. And you know what? I forgot to put my grass down this time. I just realized that, and I can't take it off once it's done. But that's okay. It has the shakers in it. I think it'll be fine without grass. So you're gonna line this up. Well, you know what I need to do is I need to get my bone folder and push that down so it's flat, so I can do a better job. Bone folder, make sure it's nice, as flat as I can get it. Pick up my thing and then find the center. Line up the best that you can and stick it down. Next thing I want to do is I'm gonna bring in some flowers. So from the kit, I used the card base and I'm gonna use some of the flowers out. So I'm going to take and glue one flower over here, and I'm gonna put one on this side. And then I have these little, where do they go? Little black dots, diamond dots. I have 4 of them. And I'm gonna put glue right here and here. Let it set for a minute. And I want to put some little flowers on here around the edges. So I thought I'd put one here, here. Let's see how that looks. So I'll put that one right there, which I have my tweezers here. Did I put them back in my drawer? That's okay. I'll just use my fingers. No big deal. So I put my little flowers right there. I think I'll put a yellow one right here. One right there. So cute, huh? And I'm thinking I should probably put a little white one right there. Yeah, maybe I will. Put a white one right there and a white one right there. Okay. So that one is almost complete. Let me put my little dots on here. I thought I had 4. Evidently, I lost one. With this black mat, it's hard to see, so I don't know what I did with it. It came off somewhere. Or it's just hiding. Nope, it's not there. I'll get one more out. Oh, here it is. It's right there. Huh. So that card is almost complete. I still have to do the inside, but that's what it looks like. Just a cute little card, a thank you card. And everything moves around nicely. I probably could have put more in there, but that's okay. And I didn't do the grass, which I'm okay with that. So, and it stands up nicely, so you can see. I love shaker cards. So the second one, I'm going to use the front of the card this time. And I've already pre-glued this on to save some time because I really wanted to get to the bookmark. So the next step you're going to do is you're going to, same thing, exact same thing. You're going to grab your little bit of sequences and stuff. So I'm going to grab my little bit of sequence that I want to put in there. It's different shades. So put all my sequence in there. Okay. This one's going to go this way, the other way, okay? So when it goes on, it's going to look like that. So I want to put on there, happy birthday. Here it is. I'm looking for my happy birthday. I did not put it on the block, did I? Oh, yes, I did. No, that's thank you. Here it is. It's in the wrong spot. It's in a different spot. So I want to put happy birthday right across there. So I'll grab out my stamping block. Get my Lost Lagoon ink. Now, actually, I think I'm going to do it in Secret C this time because it might get lost up there somewhere. So I'll put it in Secret C this time. I almost forgot to put the happy birthday on there. So you tap, tap, tap. Line up the best you can. And I'm putting it down a little bit lower because I want to make sure that my border doesn't cover it up. Okay, so I'm going to close up my ink. Clean it off, set it aside. Now I'm going to continue to put my little shaker bits in here. So I want to put a little bit of purple in here, or lavender. And I think this time I want a little more stuff in here. Put in my little greeny color. Okay. I'm liking this. Throw some orange in here. Okay. And I think we are ready. Now I'm going to put it all in the middle to make sure it's nice in the middle. Pull off my backing like I did before. Yeah, if you have this tape, see how easy this is? And I remember a long time ago when I first started doing this, you take, and I still do it occasionally, but now I'm getting back to this way again, is you take, we get these little things from Stampin' Up. I'll show you. These little pieces that have lines, and you pull them off, and you take and put it all around the edges. Now, sometimes some cards need that, but this one, because I was doing the full card, I didn't think I needed to do that. And it's faster, and I have all the supplies. Line it the best you can, and stick it on there. Before you shake it, you make sure it's stuck down really good. Now, it kind of stuck to the table here. I'm gonna turn it over. And it's okay that it's not straight. What matters is that I got that straight up there. And here's your shaker card. See how the beads go much easier? Now you're going to take your shaker, you're going to put this, glue this on the front. Do the same thing. Get around your edges real good. Then lay it down on there as straight as you can. Do the best that you can. Okay, and then press it down around all the edges. The middle will automatically stick, no worries. And there's your shaker card. I love this card. So now we'll continue to glue down our pieces. So I wanted to put this down here. So I'll put a little glue right there. Stick it on. And this one's gonna go right there. Or maybe, Yeah, that way. And these are pieces from the kit. So I used a lot of pieces in this one. Well, I used the same amount. I used the card front and that. And then I'm going to grab some of these cute little flowers. I'm going to do this one a little bit different than I did the last one. I'm going to put a few right up here. And then that one. Now when you cut this foam, it'll kind of go down, it'll get all flat. But then if you let it sit overnight like I did, it comes right back to life. That was just kind of hanging down because I pushed real hard there. So I line this up the best I can. I'll put 3 down here too. When I first looked at these, I'm going, these look like pineapple. Then I looked at them and go, no, they're flowers. So there you go. There's that card. And it shakes so nicely. So I'm going to set those aside because I don't need those anymore. Okay, and find my lid. There it is. I tend to lose this lid sometimes. I don't get why, but I do. So we'll let all that dry, and I have 2 shaker cards done. Next thing, I want to go and get my inside pieces. There they go. I had them over here. No big deal. Oh, let's get another piece of paper out and cut another one. If all else fell, it doesn't take very long to cut a piece of paper. So I want to go 3 3/4 by 4. Wait, yeah, by 4. That's what I want. Okay. And the next thing I want to do is bring back in. So this one is going to go like this. So it'll go in there like that. And this one will go like this. So it's a little bit different because that's a landscape. So I'm going to bring back in my stamp thing. Bring both of these in. And grab my granny apple. Oh, grab my 2 envelopes too. Almost forgot about them. Get my envelopes. They're right here. So I'm going to start with a cute little plant here. I love this stamp set. This was, I bought this from my friend Jerry the other day. She was cleaning out her stuff. And I said, Allie, do you want some stamps? I go, yeah, how much? And it was really cheap. I did a video on it. She's such a good friend. So I'm going to put the little flowers just kind of like right there. Okay. Clean off my thing. And grab this one. Now, I am not, wait, you know what? I want to grab this one first. Put a little one next to it. I like doing that. Because this will be where the flower goes. Right there. There. That's the stem of the flowers. There. So there we go. Clean that one off. Since I'm doing this, I'm going to grab this one right here and do this right on the corner. Just to have extra leaves and stuff. Okay, so I'll set this aside. Grab my envelope and do the same thing. Put a leaf right there and a little leaf right here. And then do the same thing on the other envelope. Do a really quick envelope thing. Put that right there. I'm gonna bring this one back in because I want to put a couple flowers on here. Oh no, that's the wrong one. This is the one. Throw it over that direction and put that one right there. Okay, I will clean those later because I need to get moving in this video. So I think I'm going to use the Berry Burst. Oh wait, what does this color have on here? No, I cannot use that. I will use the Calypso Curl. That's what I'll use. So I'm going to grab that one. Do a bunch of stamping here. So I'm going to stamp off and stamp on. That's one. And stamp off. And stamp on. Oh no, I didn't. I did that wrong. Oh well. It is what it is, right? There. And I'll take the second half and I'll go full thing on it. Oh, that's gonna be so cute. There's that one. And that one. That one's for this one. This one is, yeah. Gotta get them right there. Let's see if this will work. It might not work, but it might work. Yeah, kinda does. It's the envelope, no one will notice. They'll think it's pretty, that's all they'll know. There we go. Then I think I'm gonna grab the grass, which is right, where did I put my grass? I will not grab the grass then. So I'm not sure where it went. Maybe that's why I didn't put it on the first time. It wasn't in my line of sight. Okay, so now I will glue this on the inside of the card. That one's done. I'm gonna grab this one. I love shaker cards. They're like the best. Line up the best you can and put it right on in there. Okay. Got a little hair there. Okay, so here's the envelopes, front and back. Okay, and here's the two cards we made today. Okay, now let's do the bookmark. So I brought in some Secrecy paper, part of the envelope, and some Darling Duckling, I think it's Darling Duckling. Yeah, Darling Duckling paper, okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my quarter punch, which is an old crocodile. Oh, I first used this die from Stamps of Life, and I cut out the bookmark. It's a really cool die, okay? Then I took out from Stamps of Life, this was a few months ago, card kit, and it says, relax and repeat. It had to do with books. So, and these books were too big to, because it's bookmark. I was going to try and stamp it on there, but it was way too big, so it didn't work out. So I thought I'd put that in there. So the first thing I'm going to do, because these corners are rounded, I am going to round the corners. I want to use the 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go around and round the corners. I pre-cut these. So this bookmark, if you don't have this, it's 6 inches by 2 inches. The next layer is 1 3/4. And of course, it went down a little bit of each one by 5 1/4. And the next one is 1.5, went down 1/4 inch by 5. So you're going to take and you're going to do the bottom half, just the bottom half. Well, maybe I'll do the top too. Go around all 4 sides. And that's the envelope. So we use the envelope and some flowers from the kit to make the bookmark. Okay. So the next step, I'm going to bring in my glue. I'm going to bring it around here. And I'm going to stick it right here on my card, on the bookmark. Just even it out. I'm going to bring in the secret C, or the envelope piece. And that's going to get glued right in the middle also. Line it up the best you can. And put it there. Now the last piece, you want to round the corners for that. And that's where you're going to stamp your image. So you're going to grab that. Grab your secret C ink out. I need those flowers for my bookmark. Stamp it right about the middle. Line it the best you can. And there's your sentiment. Read, relax, repeat. Isn't that kind of what life's about? Well, if you're a reader, I listen to my books. Sometimes I read, but usually I listen. So I'm going to glue this down through the middle of the bookmark. I've been promising this bookmark for a little bit now, so I thought I better get it done. Put that in the middle, and then I'm going to glue my flowers to the top and bottom. Okay, and I have my ribbon. I have some yellow ribbon and some iridescent ribbon. So I'm going to line it up, fold it in half, and I want to take and stick it right through the top here. And open up the opening like that, and then stick my ribbon through that middle. And just like that, you have a bookmark. Now you could trim it down, you could leave it long. I think I'm gonna leave it long only because whoever gets it can change it. So the last little thing I think I want to do is I want to bring in my timid tiger, and I think I want to put a butterfly on it. Find my full butterfly, here it is. So I think I'm gonna put a little butterfly right there. Then I'm going to bring in, you know what? Should I do the same color? Yeah, I think I should do the same color. No, yeah. Put another butterfly right there. So that's a cute little bookmark. I really like it. So basically I made a bookmark and 2 shaker cards today. And we are done, and decorated my envelopes and the insides, which I almost forgot. So thank you for watching my video, and have a great day, and I'll see you again. Bye.